Nuclear missiles are powerful weapons with the ability to cause massive destruction. They use nuclear reactions to release energy, resulting in explosive power far greater than conventional bombs. These weapons have been a central part of global military strategy since their development during World War II. Nations possessing nuclear capabilities often hold significant political and military influence on the world stage. The importance of nuclear missiles extends beyond mere destructive potential. They serve as deterrents, preventing conflicts through the threat of mutual destruction. This concept, known as mutually assured destruction or MAD, has been a cornerstone of international relations for decades. However, the presence of such weapons also raises significant ethical and safety concerns. Countries around the world have engaged in arms control agreements to limit the spread and testing of nuclear weapons. These treaties aim to reduce the risk of nuclear warfare and promote global stability. Despite these efforts, nuclear weapons remain a contentious issue, with debates over their necessity and the risks they pose to humanity. On October 30, 2025, President Donald Trump announced a significant shift in U.S. nuclear policy. He ordered the Department of War to resume testing nuclear missiles, ending a moratorium that had been in place for over 3 decades. This decision was publicized through social media as Trump traveled to South Korea for a diplomatic meeting. The order marks a departure from previous U.S. commitments to limit nuclear testing. It has sparked widespread debate and concern, both domestically and internationally. The announcement comes at a time when global tensions over nuclear capabilities are on the rise, particularly with countries like Russia and China. The decision to resume testing has been justified by the administration as a necessary step to maintain national security. Officials argue that as other nations advance their nuclear capabilities, the United States must ensure its arsenal remains effective and reliable. This move has been met with mixed reactions, reflecting the complexity of nuclear politics. The primary reason cited for resuming nuclear testing is the need to keep pace with Russia and China. According to President Trump, these countries have been advancing their nuclear capabilities, potentially threatening U.S. security. By resuming tests, the United States aims to demonstrate its commitment to maintaining a robust and credible nuclear deterrent. Russia has recently tested several new nuclear-capable delivery systems, although it claims these did not involve nuclear detonations. Meanwhile, China has been rapidly expanding its nuclear arsenal, raising concerns among U.S. officials. The administration argues that without testing, the U.S. risks falling behind in technological advancements. Another factor influencing the decision is the impending expiration of the New Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, or New START, with Russia. The Trump administration has expressed a desire for a new arms control agreement that includes China. However, Beijing has rejected this proposal, complicating diplomatic efforts. The United States last conducted a nuclear test on September 23, 1992, under the test codenamed Divider. This marked the 1054th test conducted by the U.S., which has a long history of nuclear testing dating back to the mid-20th century. Since then, the United States has adhered to a moratorium on explosive testing, in line with international efforts to curb nuclear proliferation. The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, although not yet in force, reflects global consensus against nuclear testing. Despite this, the U.S. has maintained its nuclear arsenal through subcritical tests and computer simulations, which do not involve nuclear explosions. These methods have allowed for the maintenance of the stockpile without violating the moratorium. The decision to resume testing raises questions about the future of nuclear arms control. It challenges the norms established over the past decades and could potentially lead to a new arms race. The implications of this shift are significant, affecting not only U.S. policy but also international relations and security. The announcement of resumed nuclear testing has elicited, varied responses from the international community. Russia, through Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, expressed surprise and reiterated its adherence to the moratorium on nuclear testing. However, Russia also indicated that it would respond if the United States abandoned its commitments. China has urged the United States to honor its obligations under the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. The Chinese Foreign Ministry emphasized the importance of maintaining global strategic stability and expressed concern over the potential escalation of nuclear tensions. These responses highlight the delicate balance of power and the importance of diplomatic engagement. Other countries and international organizations have also voiced concerns. The resumption of testing could, honestly, undermine efforts to prevent nuclear proliferation and destabilize existing arms control frameworks. This development has the potential to strain relationships between nuclear and non-nuclear states, complicating global security dynamics. Domestically, the decision to resume nuclear testing has faced significant opposition. Democratic representatives from Nevada, Dinah Titus and Jackie Rosen, have condemned the move, citing environmental and safety concerns. They have pledged to introduce legislation aimed at halting the resumption of testing, reflecting widespread public apprehension. The Nevada legislature had previously passed a resolution urging the federal government to maintain the moratorium. This really underscores the local impact of nuclear testing, particularly in areas historically used for such purposes. The potential environmental and health risks associated with testing are major points of contention. Public opinion is divided, with some viewing the decision as necessary for national security, while others see it as a step backward in arms control efforts. The debate highlights the complexity of balancing security needs with ethical considerations and the long-term consequences of nuclear policy decisions. Experts have raised concerns about the potential risks and consequences of resuming nuclear testing. Daryl Kimball of the Arms Control Association argues that there is no technical, military, or political justification for explosive testing. He warns that this move could trigger a chain reaction of testing by other countries, undermining global non-proliferation efforts. The feasibility of resuming testing is also in question. Experts estimate it would take at least 36 months to prepare the Nevada test site for a new underground test. This timeline raises doubts about the immediate necessity of testing and the potential motivations behind the decision. The resumption of testing could have far-reaching implications for international treaties and agreements. It risks destabilizing the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and could lead to increased tensions among nuclear-armed states. The decision underscores the need for careful consideration of the long-term impacts on global security. The decision to resume nuclear testing carries significant implications for global safety and security. It challenges the established norms of nuclear restraint and could lead to a new arms race among nuclear powers. This escalation poses risks not only to direct participants but also to global stability and peace. Resuming testing might encourage other nations to follow suit, potentially leading to increased proliferation of nuclear weapons. Such developments could undermine decades of progress in arms control and non-proliferation efforts. The potential for miscalculation or accidental escalation increases as more countries engage in testing. The decision also affects diplomatic relations, particularly with countries advocating for disarmament. It complicates negotiations and could strain alliances, making it more challenging to address other global security issues. The broader implications of this policy shift underscore the need for continued dialogue and cooperation among nations. In conclusion, the decision to resume nuclear testing marks a significant shift in United States policy with far-reaching implications. While it aims to address security concerns related to Russia and China, it also poses risks to global stability and arms control efforts. The potential for an arms race and increased proliferation highlights the need for careful consideration of the long-term impacts. The future of nuclear testing remains uncertain, with domestic and international opposition likely to influence policy decisions. Continued dialogue and diplomatic engagement are essential to address the challenges posed by nuclear weapons. As the world navigates this complex issue, the importance of cooperation and restraint cannot be overstated. Ultimately, the decision to resume testing raises critical questions about the balance between national security and global safety. It underscores the need for thoughtful and informed policymaking to ensure a secure and peaceful future for all nations.